welcome to That Happens, the rootinest, tootinest mandolin. No, that's not a mandolin. Is that a ukulele? What do you got over there, Jeff?
It is a ukulele. It is a Kamaka wood ukulele. I love that little thing. Hey everybody, how you doing? Happuccinos. It's Crittenden and Davis and Kevin Day making everything possible and extra sexy. We had it's my fault that we're going on late because I woke up from one of those naps that you don't take. It's one of those day naps that you wake up from and you're more tired after the nap. Mm-hmm. And I had a video to record, a cameo and a memo. I'm on Memo now too, which is another thing, MEMMO. And I woke up, got in the shower, opened up a new pack of razor blades because my old one was crap, and I shaved. And I sat down to do my video and realized it was 5:23 Pacific time, which means 7 minutes away from That Happens. Oh, time to drink.
Oh, yeah. What you sipping on, Jeff?
I'm sipping on an Anchor Lager. It's from the Bay Area. It's a California lager from the good people at Anchor Brewing Company. If I hadn't had Cameo to do, which I still haven't done, but I have time to do that after this, I don't know that I would have been able to wake up and do this broadcast right now. But I'm glad that I did, and because I miss you all dearly and sweetly.
Is that us or the audience, or who are you talking about?
Well, first, in order of importance, I would say Spencer, then Kevin, and then the Happuccinos. I don't even know who most of the Happuccinos are, but I like them as a unit.
Yeah, I like the idea of them, but the specific people, I'm not so sure.
I like them on paper.
Yeah, I'm sipping on a Mountain Dew USA, or what is it? Mountain Dew SA. You see this, Jeff?
Oh, God.
It's just a filthy purple. And you know what the secret...
Put the label on the camera so I can see how they do this. Mountain Dew
SA.
So they're from San Antonio?
I don't know. I guess, yeah. No, it's the United States of Mountain Dew, Jeff. 3 flavors collide: Code Red, Whiteout, and Voltage. So they literally just took 3 Mountain Dews, specialty flavor, and poured it into a big bucket. And they're like, we'll sell that as its own flavor. So
this sounds just like a trash can of stuff they couldn't sell?
Yeah, it's like a suicide, but of Mountain Dew. You know, it's not ideal, but you know it's back. This flavor existed before, and now it's back.
What could be more USA than taking the dregs of some failed ideas and pouring them into a bucket, and then putting them into single-serve plastic and poisoning you to death? I think that nothing says Lady Liberty like Mountain Dew SA. You can almost taste the liberty and the genocide.
Yeah, for sure. It's by the country that brought you the mystery flavor of Airheads, you know? So this is what you can expect. Mountain Dew has there's some new flavors, Jeff, that I've been trying to get my hands on, but this is a consolation prize because, like I said, it's back, but it's not very good, you know?
Can you give me some flavor? Can you nose it for us? Like you know, you're a sommelier. Like tell us what it tastes like.
I'd say the main flavor is from the Whiteout. Now, Whiteout is like a Mountain Dew version of Squirt, you know, kind of just a more general, like, biting grapefruit flavor, but just kind of flat. But it also has a very syrupy quality. So I'd say that's kind of the main body. And then you get some notes of generic red flavor, like you might find in a popsicle, you know, and then you have your classic like blue raspberry kind of blue popsicle flavor. So it does taste a lot like a melted popsicle, Jeff. But like I said, there's new flavors. Baja Blast is going to be returning to stores. Baja Blast, the official Taco Bell flavor of Mountain Dew. You usually only get it at Taco Bell, but now they're putting it in cans and releasing it again. This is another flavor that's coming back. And they're also introducing 2 new flavors, Jeff. The freaking Baja Punch and Baja Flash. That's a tropical punch dew and a freaking pina colada dew. Those are the ones I want to get my hands on. Can you imagine what's going on?
If there's a pina colada dew, I might want to get my hands on one of those and then just pour a shit ton of rum in it and just see what goes on with that. It'll make like a Malibu situation.
Yeah, I could see something like that working. It could be really bad too, but I don't know. That actually excites me. Not like this. This is literally just, a barrel of Mountain Dews.
Were you ever a Cactus Cooler fan?
Yeah, I like Cactus Cooler. It has it has like an orangey flavor, right? And then maybe like some pineapple notes or something.
I think it's a citrusy pineapple affair. I don't know why cactus is involved. But when I was in high school, there was a vending machine next to the gymnasium. And when I left school, my first stop was to go there and get myself a Cactus Cooler. And it was good. It was very, very sweet, but also kind of tangy.
Mm-hmm. When I go to the taco truck that I go to, they sell like fish tacos. One of the best sodas they can have is Cactus Cooler. Like they have random sodas and it changes from day to day. But Cactus Cooler is like the jackpot in my opinion.
Do you go to Ricky's taco truck or the fish taco truck?
Yeah, Ricky's Fish Tacos under the overpass on freaking, I don't know what the name of that street is. It's so good. I love it.
I believe it's Riverside, or is it? Yeah, it's Riverside, or San Fernando.
I think it's
one of those two. It's just around the corner for me, and my friends that are from Mexico say they are the best fish tacos outside of Ensenada. They really swear by them.
They're so good. They have a really, really nice crispy batter, and it has like just enough salt to the batter where it's like, oh yeah, I'm eating fried food, baby, but it's not over salty or anything. And then the fish is just really, really good quality. It flakes apart. It's a nice, like, I think tilapia. I'm not sure, but I've never really had fish tacos. But that was the first place I've ever had fish tacos, and I was like, I fucking love fish tacos.
That place is supposed to be legit. So, Kevin, you're saying that before, because I was late and I didn't have my headphones charged and all that shit, because I'm a negligent, I'm an absent father to this podcast. That you guys were showing Robot Bastard behind the scenes stuff.
Correct. Yeah, we were filling a little bit of time with that, and that's.
Did I talk about how much I wanted to die in that costume?
It looked hot and sweaty. It really did.
Okay, so if anybody's seen Robot Bastard or just watched those clips, the costume we shot in a warehouse in Milwaukee, and I don't think it was particularly hot in Milwaukee at the time because Milwaukee can get kind of humid and hot. But on a soundstage, it gets very hot because there's lights and you can't have the air conditioning on for sound purposes. And it was thermal underwear to protect me from the costume, which was electrical tape. They took, I don't know, maybe 100 yards of old school, like you're putting a dimmer switch in your wall and you need electrical tape, just wrapped it around me, and it doesn't really breathe, as it turns out. And I couldn't sit down. I couldn't take it off. So I couldn't pee. Or otherwise,
you couldn't even emit voltage.
I was very safe from spreading voltage. Nobody was going to get any shocks from me, but except for my incredible acting power. But it was so hot, and I don't know if I'm a very claustrophobic person in general. I became incredibly claustrophobic. And because I couldn't move, I really couldn't bend my arms. I couldn't sit down, so I had to lean up against a wall, like an animal with one leg. Oh yeah, there's me. God damn that fucking costume! I was basically a trash bag wrapped in tape, and I was playing it cool there. Like if you're watching the footage, this is my ex-girlfriend Robia. More on her later. I told one of the costume people or one of the PAs or somebody. I said, look, I'm freaking out right now. Like internally, I'm going a little crazy. If I point at you, that's our code. You come running at me with scissors and get me the fuck out of this thing. So I hope it doesn't come to that. And I said, also, when we're not shooting, I don't want anyone to come anywhere near me because I need to go like basically meditate because I was having palpitations and trouble breathing because I couldn't really even take a full breath. So,
Because it was
I
tight?
said, like, if I point at you, come at me with a knife and slice me out of this fucker. And then they had to put me, like not blood packs, but explosive packs when I got shot. So there was like spark packs and shit like that. Wow. It was very fun though.
You got squibbed.
Yeah, I got squibbed. I love being squibbed. Not when you're wearing an outfit completely made of electrical tape. Yeah, it was. I'd rather have been actually shot and murdered.
You get some nice ventilation.
There was a dude. Can we see him there? Okay, here's me. There's Rabia. Have we talked about Rabia before? Oh, that's a fucking fun shot. Oh, the sound tech girl with the short hair. She was so cute. What was her name? I had a big crush on her, but she wanted nothing to do with me. Rabia was always a pain in the ass. Now she's like a minister. I think she is like she's evangelical minister. She was the first girl I was ever in love with. My first love relationship. And if you're fans of Prince, the first fight Rabia and I ever got into. Remember, Spencer, and I've told you before about my psychic powers, right?
Oh, sure, yeah. You predicted 9/11 famously.
I didn't predict it. I was just aware when it happened, even though I wasn't.
Right. If
I predicted it, I should have called the authorities, because otherwise, that's really on me.
I guess you just dicked it.
She was addicted to what my dick did. I forget which rapper said that. Was it Eazy-E? No, somebody else. I was dancing at the Viper Room, and my head felt like turned by the hand of God towards the doorway, the staircase that you walk up into the club. And there was nobody there. And then this woman walked in, Rabia Lamort, whose last name literally means death.
Yeah.
And I turned to my friend, Angry Irish Paul, and I said, Angry Irish Paul, see that girl? And he goes, wow. I go, yes, we'll be in love. And we were like within a month. We got into a fight. We went, and while I was driving, because we were both low blood sugary, and she goes, pull over. We're having our first fight. She goes, pull over to Tower Records here on Sunset Boulevard. Mm-hmm. I think it's now gone. And I go, okay. And she goes, we're having our first fight. You know, I'm cranky, you're hangry, I'm hangry. This is so long ago. Hangry was not yet a term.
Right.
And that happens.
Whoa, he said the thing. Holy shit.
Yeah, you can solve that happens at oh shit.
Oh shit, he did it again. I already drank my Mountain Dew SA.
So we go into the I must have told the story 1,000 times.
I don't know that I've heard it.
So we go into the record store. And record stores for you millennials out there were a place that you could go into and purchase compact discs that had music on them. And you could go home and listen to your compact disc. You could maybe even put it into your car later on. But in early days, you had to have
iTunes. It's like if iTunes was a place that you walked.
It was a time when recording artists made money. So... she walks us over into the P section, and as I say that doesn't sound great. The letter P, and she goes, "Do you know Prince?" Of course, I know Prince. And she says, "Do you remember the Diamond and Pearl record?" I go, "Yeah." And she goes, "I was like, sexy motherfucker, get off, cream." She says, "Yeah," and she takes a record out and she shows me the cover and she points to Prince and two white girls with brown hair, and she points to herself and she goes, "I was Pearl of Diamond and Pearl." And there were about maybe 6 or 7 other people in the Tower Records store. You know, not super close to me, but close enough to have heard me exclaim this exclamation. I said, "Oh my God, I jerked off to you all through high school."
Yeah.
So when you watch Robot Bastard, know that she's Pearl from Diamond and Pearl. And when Prince says, "You got to move that big ass round this way so I can work on that zipper, baby," that's Rabia's butt. She was... I won't say she was the most fun to work with. She was a little high maintenance. And also, I was younger than her, and I was afraid of her. She was terrifying. And then I was a virgin when I met her. Uh-oh. I lost my virginity to her when I was 24. We had sex for the first time the day we broke up. And I came out of my celibacy, and we crossfaded. She went into her Christian celibacy, because I was like a born-again Christian, and then so was she, but like I was like, oh, I like fucking people. and I'm going to start fucking ladies now. And then she was like, no more fucking anybody's. And I think now she might still be like a minister. Like she got really, really into it.
Wow. You fucked God into her.
You know what? That's a very good way to put it, Spencer. I put a little religion in her.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if I've heard that story. Or I mean, who knows? We've done so much Harmontown and stuff. Then so many.
Yeah. Because I think we weren't dating when we did Robot Bastard. Rob cast her in that role, and we went out to Milwaukee together. And I remember the freedom of being with somebody who is high maintenance. And I'm not saying I'm not high maintenance. I'm probably more high maintenance than she is. At the time, though, maybe not. She just scared me because she was... Her last name is Death. And I remember being in the airport with her, and she just was like kind of just griping about something. And I remember thinking like, oh, like, hey, fucking knock it off. like it's gonna be all right, and like not feeling scared that I was going to ruin a relationship by saying that. I was like, you gotta fucking cool it. Dan Harmon, who was not in the film Robot Bastard, came out to visit us while we were shooting it because Dan and Rob are both from the Milwaukee area. And I went out to a bar. I want to say it was called. Oh fuck! What was it called? It'll come to me. It had kind of a tiki surf theme. I don't know why there's surfboards in a Milwaukee bar. And I was like, "Hey, who's that guy?" This is kind of shitty, but I don't know. Who cares?
Yeah.
I was like, "Who's that dude? The sound guy?" Like I've been working on the film for a couple days, and I was like, "Do you know the sound guy?" And Dan's like, "No, who's the sound guy?" I'm like, "He's just, I don't know. He's kind of just, it's kind of weird." I was like, and Dan's like, "What's his name?" I'm like, "I don't know. It's like his last name is something weird, like because Milwaukee names are hilarious." Mm-hmm. Robbie Schraub is the least weird name on the set. Because their friends' name are Ramstack and Poppinfoos. Like I'm not making those up. Right. So I was like, his name is like Fuzznick or Ass Patch. And Dan hit the bar laughing, and he goes, Mooshits. The guy's name, Tom Mooshits. So, yeah, I mean, that can't have been easy. If you had the name Mooshits and you went to LA Unified School, you were dead. You would have been murdered because somebody would have just stabbed you. I think. Maybe it was easier in Milwaukee. I don't know.
Mooshits was French for cow pie.
Mooshits. There was also a friend, Booblets. Right. Booblets. The names. Yeah.
He went on to own a famous seltzer brand, I would imagine.
Oh, I would drink a Booblets.
Right?
Yeah. I'd rather have a nice, refreshing Booblets than a White Claw any day. Also, fuck White Claw and fuck LaCroix. How do you fucking say it? I don't want to know.
Yeah, one of those. What seltzer do you like? Because those are pretty popular, right?
None. I mean, if I'm going to have a seltzer, I'm going to have just like a Pellegrino or a Perrier. I don't like boozy seltzers because why not just have a drink?
Yeah, but LaCroix is not alcoholic. What about non-alcoholic?
LaCroix just doesn't do it for me. I'd rather have just water than...
Yeah, me too.
I don't know.
To me, seltzer just tastes like unfinished soda.
Correct.
It's like, I'll just drink water if I want water, but if I want, seltzer, I don't want seltzer. I want soda.
So Rabia started taking me to church, and I was coming out
That's
of
what
my...
she called it.
Well, we only did that once. Yeah. And it was we broke up, we had sex, I left, that was it. Mm-hmm. And then we made Robot Bastard a couple years later. So I would go to her
after.
Yeah, afterwards. I would go to her church in the valley on Ventura Boulevard, kind of like Studio City-ish. And it was a church, and again, I'm not anti-religion. I used to be really churchy. Like I would go to Bible studies and stuff, and I could quote some scripture and whatnot. And we would go to her church. It was mostly white people, maybe a couple honorary Asians, and maybe one black dude. Mm-hmm. But the band, here's my thing. If you're going to go to church, and please do, there's stuff to learn if you're into learning stuff. But here's my thing. I don't like church where it's folding chairs, like metal folding chairs, and fluorescent lights above. And in the band, there's a bass player who's a white dude with dreadlocks. That's fucking draw the line at that. No white dudes with dreadlocks playing bass in my religious ceremonies.
So it must be hard for you to find a church.
It fucking is, man.
What about stacking chairs? I feel like we had stacking chairs. They were metal, but they had pads, like they had actual upholstery.
That's better, yeah. I grew up in a Lutheran school, like from preschool till third grade. And we would go to Sunday school, and I liked Sunday school, even though it was cutting into my fucking, skateboarding time or whatever I did as a 3-year-old. I liked the stories. I liked hearing about Jericho's walls coming down and a dude being eaten by a fish and living to tell the tale. But it was Lutheran, so it was kind of like Catholic light. Like there was stained glass windows, and there were altar boys that dressed up, and there was good music, and it was somber, and it didn't ask a lot of you. You basically just get to sit there and just dig it, and you didn't have to sing along a ton, and and there was no catechism or whatever the rites of the Catholic Church are. You didn't have to do a bunch of shit. And I got to doodle, and the pastor afterward would ask to see my drawings. He didn't care that I wasn't listening, but I was drawing what I was listening to, so he liked that I was drawing. And I drew a picture of a dude on a cross or whatever, probably Jesus. Can either of you name the other two guys that were on the crosses next to Jesus?
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, right?
Yes. See, a lot of people forget that next to Jesus, they had also crucified his mother and his father. People don't remember that. And that's why you go to church, to learn fascinating historical goodies like that.
Well, if Jesus is a criminal, then the true crime was, being his parents.
You know what Jesus' main crime was, Spencer?
Loving too much.
Exactly. You knew what I was going to say. He loved
What was it? What was it?
I was going to say he loved too much. You fucking nailed it.
Yeah, Jesus, Jesus was seriously, Jesus was laying pipe, man.
Was he really? I don't.
He cucked all the Pharisees. What do you think? That's what got him in such hot water.
He cucked all the Pharisees.
He was just blasting nonstop. He blasted so hard it withered a fig vine, famously.
What's the? I just heard a very good. I think it's Chris Christopherson, a song called "Jesus Was a Capricorn," and it's like he was barefoot. He had long hair. He hung out with hookers. And if he came back today, he'd get beaten up by the people that claim to be Jesus freaks. It's a good song.
Yeah, religion. You said you don't have a problem with religion. I have more of a problem than religion. But wait, who were the two people that were crucified? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Nameless thieves? I thought they were nameless thieves.
It was Tommy and
Dismas.
Who is it?
So nameless.
Gestas and Dismas.
There you go.
Okay, so you're making that up.
No,
Great question, Jeff. I guess the answer was really good.
Gestas and Demas?
Gestas and Dismas.
Okay.
Dismas. Those are some good D&D names.
I've got I have a little Dumas right here. It's similar spelling. So the church that Rabia took me to was very born again and what they call fired up, where everybody speaks in tongues. And I really thought, I didn't dig it because I felt like everybody was performing for each other. Maybe there are people that are so moved by the Holy Spirit that they actually start speaking in tongues. For me, it felt like group hypnosis, right. That you did it because if you didn't do it, you weren't a good Christian or a good, you didn't have the Spirit in you. So everybody was going,
yeah, because you feel like the other people are getting it for real, and it's like, I don't want to be the only one that God's not speaking through. It's like that's such a weird situation to be in, I'd imagine.
And then here's another thing. and listen, this is not me shitting on your religion, or I don't have a real hot take on Christianity or organized religion necessarily. Then there'd be the altar call at the end, where the pastor, who seemed like a very cool dude, he told good stories. He was a good speaker. He made a good case for loving each other and all that jazz, and forgiveness, and at the end of the sermons, like I think what happens in most evangelical or kind of fired up born again stuff. Everybody close your eyes, and anybody here who hasn't accepted Jesus, raise your hand and come down. And it was an immense amount of peer pressure, and people did it because not because I don't think people did it because they were absolutely struck by something. They did it because they came with somebody who would have been very disappointed if they didn't go up and do it. But we were all asked to close our eyes so they wouldn't be embarrassed. I'm like, okay, then you're asking them to do something embarrassing. I thought that was really a shit way to go about making people love God. I don't know.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of weird. Well, yeah, that's my screed against Christianity is that inherent to the at least the scriptures of the religion. There's different ways to interpret anything, but there's a lot of wives submit to your husbands as someone does to the church and trust the church, and it creates all these structures of power, and also the trials that various godly figures go through, like Job. He's just basically his whole family dies, and he was suffered essential torture for most of his life, and it's just and he did that happened because God was he was like, hey Satan, check this out. That was essentially what happened.
The story of Job and the story of Abraham is just God being a dick.
Yeah, and it sets up that trust that terrible things are going to happen, and that's okay. And don't turn against the church lead, and don't get divorced. So it creates all these situations where people that are in terrible relationships or suffering literal abuse from church members are like, oh, this is just a trial or something, where it keeps them trapped in situations that are really harmful. And it also sets up this kind of us versus them mentality among the saved versus the lost, and that creates it kind of breeds xenophobia. That's part of mission trips kind of breed this weird xenophobia, because you go and you talk to a bunch of people and they're like, what's this weirdo fucking talking about? And then you're like, oh, it was so bad. I talked to these people and they just stared at me like I was a weird alien. And, it creates this kind of in-group, out-group mentality. So all this stuff is relatively harmful, and it's just kind of it's not even evil necessarily, but baked into it is all this toxic kind of culture that perpetuates and normalizes a bunch of big problems. And I think there's a lot of good you can draw from religion, but even if you are drawing that still is happening just as a result. And I think that's really bad, and it's hard to weigh that kind of negative consequences with all the virtue and the life help and the community that is positive about church. I grew up in the church, and there's a lot of stuff I like about religion, but I feel like it's hard to reconcile that with this kind of inherent grossness.
Yeah, Rabia and I went a couple times to, and I forget the name of the church, but it was one of those. I want to say A&E, but it's not that. What are the big black churches that are all over the country? The really old school black evangelical churches. Can't think of the names. We went to one that was in Inglewood, and we were the only white people there, and it was absolutely awesome. I think I went there maybe 4 or 5 times. A&M, what are they called? I forget.
I thought it was Baptist, First Baptist, Second Baptist Church.
I can't think of what it's called, but that really old school, big church. We were the only 2 white people in the building, and people were so stoked that we were there. Everybody was so nice, and they were really happy to see a like somebody coming to their church that wasn't a local neighborhood black person. And people young guys that, this is back in the day when still where it was really gangland shit in that part of LA. So this is Sunday where everyone's dressed up, and just guys that were young guys that probably looked pretty fucking tough and hardcore when they weren't at church would come up and just say, hey, thank you for being here. We're really happy to have you here. And it was really cool, and the music was absolutely rocking. Everybody really singing, and it's like there was a feeling of community there, and like I don't know. I left there feeling so like purified by just how positive it was and how uplifting it was and how connected everybody was to each other. So I think there's something magical in that for sure.
Yeah. God says, wherever two or more of you gather in my name, I am there,
Oh, shit. You did grow up in the church.
I really did. There's a lot, like I said, there's a lot to it that I like. It's just, but it makes me like really judgmental of Christians, which I guess is, against the Bible. But it's like, I learned all this stuff and I'm not, getting mad at gay people or whatever. It's like, there's a way to do this without being this horrible asshole. But so many people just use it as an excuse to be a horrible asshole,
Yeah.
And that's even aside from like my qualms with church. But yeah, it's annoying.
Do you know what Popeye is? People don't really know that Popeye was a big Christian. Do you know what Popeye's favorite book of the Old Testament was, Spencer?
No, hit me with it.
Kevin, you got any idea what Popeye's favorite Old Testament book was?
No.
It was Habakkuk.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh no. I was trying to think of like olive oil puns. That's
Right. I think he anointed himself with olive oil frequently, but that sounds kind of dirty. Jesus goes into a hotel and walks up to the reception desk and puts 3 nails in the counter and says, "Can you put me up for the night?"
Oh no! But could they?
Yes, they nailed him to a cross.
Whoa! And he must be like, "This is my preferred form of sleeping." I don't know.
Religion's fun. It's fun. Well, I went to India with my ex-girlfriend Church. We went. I did a corporate gig there, and it was around Christmas time. India, which is not. I mean, there's loads of Christians in India, and then there's Hindu, and then there's Islam, and there's all sorts of stuff going on there. I don't think Christianity is the number one religion there, but fuck, do they love Christmas there? There was more Santa Clauses and more tinsel and more like they really love Christmas. And I asked somebody about that. I'm like, what is up with you people and Christmas time? They go, we love every holiday. Like any holiday, any reason to celebrate, we love it. And Christmas in India is the festival of lights and giving. So you light things up, you make a light tree, and hang twinkly lights and fairy lights everywhere, and basically everybody is Santa Claus. You're all giving gifts to each other. And I go, so you celebrate every holiday? And I go, yeah. Like do you guys celebrate Hanukkah? And she goes, not so much. But it wasn't because of anti-Semitism. I thought it was a very funny response, but she goes, no. She's like, we kind of feel like that's more sacred to Jews alone. Like it's a very personal holiday, whereas Christmas is kind of come one, come all. We feel like you have to be a Jew to really dig a Jewish holiday. So I think maybe they felt like they're kind of stepping on toes, or maybe there was too much new stuff to learn to really get down on it. But I just thought it was a funny anti-Semitism moment.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not, Hanukkah's not a huge Jewish holiday. It's certainly not one of the major ones. I think it's just the proximity of Christmas has like boosted it to this it's this wintertime holiday. But Yom Kippur is like a way bigger deal. It's just not associated with the 8 days and the menorah and the gifts or whatever. I wonder if gifts were always part of Hanukkah, or that was like part of like the Christmasization of it or something.
I don't know. I have loads of Jewish friends, and never once
have I ever
been. I've never been invited once to a Seder, to a Passover, to a Hanukkah thing. It's. I don't know if that's them being insular, or maybe they're not really my friends. But I've always wanted to go, because from all I've heard, it sounds like a good old time. Like the food is rocking. There's you drink some crap wine, you eat some bread with no yeast. It sounds fun.
Corned beef. Yeah, we would do Passover Seders at our church because our pastor thought it was important to understand these other cultural rituals and stuff. So he would do it pretty straight laced. And there's all these Passover readings and kind of these rituals with like the bitter herbs and stuff, and they talk about what different parts of like the Passover plate meant. And it is pretty cool. Obviously, it's not like an authentic like Jewish experience, because even though they were trying to do it the quote unquote right way, they still didn't have the Jewish culture and heritage being brought into that. They were just following the patterns essentially.
Mm-hmm.
But it was cool.
I'd like to go. I'm assuming it still happens. Like I've never been to the Borscht Belt, like up to the Catskills and stuff like that. Like I'd like to go to like an old school East Coast Catskill Jewish resort, and I want to hear like old timey Jewish comedians. I want to hear like a Jackie Mason or a Henny Youngman. I mean, they're dead, but like I want to hear like old timey Borscht Belt vaudeville comic stuff, because like those jokes make me laugh so hard. There's so many great jokes that really should only be told by elderly Jews. Like they're not funny coming out of my voice. I was on a plane once. I was on a plane once with Sam Simon, our dearly departed friend Sam, who, among other things, was the reason why there's a show called The Simpsons. And he told me old Jew jokes, but in the perfect impression of Jackie Mason. And I couldn't get enough of them. I'm like, these are the greatest jokes I've ever heard, but I really can't go out and tell them, because I think you have to be an old Jewish writer or an old Jewish comic to really get a laugh out of these. But none of them were like anti-Semitic, obviously. They're just jokes that are only funny. They're funny.
They're very Semitic.
Yeah. They're super Semitic. They're pro-Semitic.
How do you know Sam Simons? This is news to me. What's the deal?
I knew Sam when I was broke and being evicted from my apartment when I was like, 27? I was really, really broke and owed everybody money. I got a job on Whose Line Is It Anyway? And I was going to get paid quickly enough to pay the rent in the new place I had moved into. And I was literally on the lam from the LA sheriffs. I had 24 hours to get out, and I just put shit into trash bags and left. And then I got this job and met Drew Carey. The same week, I got a job on the Norm Macdonald show with Norm, and Laurie Metcalf was one of my fucking favorite actors of all time. And I think she should have won the Oscar a couple years ago. And Max Wright and... I'm blanking on names. Artie Lang.
Mm-hmm.
Pre-nose collapse, and it was really wild, and it was just a very very fun experience. I played a lesbian. If you go back and find that episode, I play a female nurse, and they can't tell if I'm a guy dressed up as a woman for Halloween, or I'm a woman who's just dressed up as a nurse for Halloween. It was very fun, and so Sam was an executive producer on that, and so then that next week I get a call from my manager. No, here's how long ago it was. I had a pager. I got paged. Pagers were things that you use when you were standing in a compact disc store buying your music, and then somebody would text you 911, and that meant like, I want to fuck you.
What's crazy is they didn't even have pages, but they were called pagers.
Yeah, it's true. Totally lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
You derailed me.
A week later.
Oh yeah. So my manager Tracy calls me up and she goes, "You have a meeting tomorrow at Warner Brothers with Drew Carey, who I just met and did one taping of Whose Line with. Sam Simon, who I just briefly met on the set of the Norm Macdonald show, and Bruce Helford, who is the other executive producer, who also was executive producer on like Roseanne and shit like that. Like, so I'm meeting with 3 mega millionaires, and I don't know why. They wouldn't say why. And I had to find money to put gas in my car, in my shitty old Honda, and I found about 45 cents in my couch cushions that made it through the move from my place to the new place. Mm-hmm. Enough to get my gas tank out of the bottom of the red to the top of the red to make it to Warner Brothers. And I hadn't eaten any food that day because I was fucking broke. and they offered me a pilot. They offered me the lead in a pilot, and I told Drew this later. I said I almost asked you guys if I could borrow $5 so I could go to Del Taco for a week. like $1 at Del Taco back then meant something. Probably still does. So that's how I met Sam, and Sam, kind of notoriously difficult to work with, kind of a pain. Always was the sweetest, coolest dude to me. We were at a strip club in Las Vegas together. We'd fly to Las Vegas, and somehow Vegas would find out that Sam Simon was coming, and red carpet would just roll out everywhere he went.
Wow.
They just knew that he was coming because he's rich.
Mm-hmm.
We were at a strip club together, the one that's across the street from the Hard Rock. There was a very attractive dancer who was sitting at our table, and Sam took a cocktail napkin out and drew Bart nice. Simpson, and signed it. And he goes, "Put that in your purse. That's going to be worth a lot of money."
Wow.
So he was like Picasso. But Sam was like the reason why Simpsons first was on the air, because he did Tracy Ullman and put Matt Groening's weird comic strip on the show. But I think he also was responsible for most of the secondary characters like Milhouse and Mr. Burns and all that stuff. I think he drew a lot of the characters. So yeah, he was awesome.
That's awesome.
And,
I heard they were originally going to be called the Sam Simes. Does that make any sense? I don't know. Is that bad?
Oh my God. We were at a party at his house one time. Sam had this house in Bel Air. Then he bought the house next to his house. That was a Neutra, the great mid-century modern architect, test house. He bought it and refurbished it exactly to its original 1960s flavor. And in his office, he had the Eames office set. You know what I'm talking about, Kevin? The Eames like office furniture, like kind of
yes,
boxy kind of compartment, kind of stuff. But I was looking at it and it had rust on the hinges. I'm like, so it wasn't a reproduction. I go, is this original Eames furniture? I go, this is like $300,000 worth of office equipment. He's like, more than that. And a fucking like 20 Emmys, like Emmys everywhere. And he's like, these are the ones I bothered to pick up because some of them broke, some of them they never even sent me. Like, because Simpsons just kept winning Emmys and stuff like that.
Sure.
The party kind of broke up, and I was there with a girl, and Sam said, "Hey, people are leaving. Do you know any girls that we could invite over?" I'm like, "Yeah, but they're going to be a little on the shady side. Like, if I'm going to call in last minute." Female reinforcements, like they might include some jumbos, strippers and stuff like that, like some of the shady ladies from Shady Lane.
Do you mean like, Jumbo's Clown Room as opposed to like Jumbo sized ladies?
No, Jumbo's Clown Room, the great strip club on Hollywood Boulevard. Right. And if you've not been to LA and you've not been to Jumbo's, then you haven't been to LA. It's where what's her name, Courtney Love used to dance before she started murdering her husbands for a living.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very heroin-y and very good. So my friend Nick shows up with like 4 or 5 very attractive, but also, these are runaways. These are, girls with neck tattoos and whatnot. Sure. They get in the hot tub, everything's fine, and then all of a sudden the party is over. Sam's had enough.
What? Why?
Because I don't think he was enjoying it anymore, and he wanted to go to bed, and now there's a bunch of lunatics in his fucking hot tub.
Sure. Yeah.
And
that actually makes sense.
Here's the only time I've seen a party being broken up by the host. In one hand, he had a Louisville Slugger baseball bat. In the other hand, a .38 revolver. He's like, everybody out! Everybody out! And I took the girl I was with, and you couldn't get out without being buzzed out. So I hoisted her over the wall, and in my suit, like I threw my jacket over and fucking scrabbled over the wall. I was like, it's time to go. Like I'm not waiting for Sam to hit the buzzer and let us out of here. Like we're going over the fucking 12-foot wall.
And it's hard to hit a buzzer with a pistol.
Yeah.
Man,
Fantastic.
That's a great story, but not as great as these advertisements from our sponsors. Hello, my name is Kyle. Vote for me. And now back to the show.
Yes. Kyle approves this message.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to all our sponsors, especially Kyle. You know, these people, we wouldn't be here without, you know, the support. I can't tell you what he's done for us.
We do love Kyle. Can I tell two other, while we're eulogizing Sam Simon?
Sure.
Here's two. If you think at any point you have great stories in your life or good anecdotes, I like to think that I've got a couple of goodies.
You do.
Sam was at a party at his house in Bel Air when he was a kid because he grew up rich. And he walks in on his mother fucking one of the guests, not his father, who was also at the party. Oh, no. He walks in on his mom being banged by some old dude. It was Groucho Marx.
What?
His mom was fucking Groucho Marx at the party.
Now, Groucho Marx, again, there's another guy who lays pipe.
Oh, tell me about it. Yes.
Groucho
Hold me
Marx
close.
bucks.
Hold me close. Closer. Closer. If I was any closer, I'd be behind you. Fantastic. Also, my other favorite Groucho Marx line. Oh, Professor, you're so full of whimsy. He goes, really? Can you tell them over there? I always get that way when I have radishes. That's a 1930s fart joke on film. It's just the best.
Yeah, I gotta take a whimsy. So, were you only ever an actor in that one part of the Norm Macdonald show, or were you in more of it?
No, just once, and I had to learn how to walk in high heels. I had 3-inch high heels. I'm a size 14 in men's shoes. I'm a size 15 in drag queen. They had to go to Hollywood Boulevard to one of the drag queen stripper shops and find me some giant white pumps. And then I had the women that were on the set like teach me how to walk like a woman, because I can't look like a drag queen like walking like a guy, because you know like you can tell when it's a drag queen because they don't walk right. And well, there's other reasons, but that's on closer inspection. So I tried to learn how to walk, and it was very fun. But the cool thing was all of my scenes were with Laurie Metcalf, and she was just so cool. And at the end of the taping, because we shot on a Friday night, and I was not going to see them again because it was just a guest star spot. I said to her, so she's dressed up as a man with a mustache, and I'm a woman, and the whole joke is she can't tell if I'm a cute guy dressed as a woman or a woman. Mm-hmm. And everyone else has bets laid on the fact that I'm a guy, and she thinks no, it's no that I'm a woman. Everyone else is like no, it's a cute guy. And I said, I've had so much fun working with you and watching you, like it's a corny word, but like your process, like when you do sitcoms and stuff, a lot of people, especially comedians, don't really rehearse that hard. I think that they feel like ashamed of rehearsing and like really working on stuff. Mm-hmm. And they just kind of like, I'll be funny on the night. She took rehearsal so seriously because she's from, the theater. She's from Steppenwolf, Chicago, she really takes it seriously. And I said, I just want to say it's been so fun working with you and just watching you work, and then like how you take this so seriously, and you're so great. And she goes, thank you. That means a lot. I fucking hate this. I'm like, what? She goes, this is the worst job in the world. I hate it. I hate the audiences. I hate the cameras. I hate the fucking... I hate everything about this. I'm like, but you're the best. And she goes, yeah, but she goes, if I had my way, I'd just take my daughter back to Chicago and do theater. Like, she goes, I fucking hate this. I go, but what about, like, Roseanne? Like, the number one show of fucking forever, for a long time. And she goes, yeah, that was different. People were watching that. She goes, nobody's watching this shit. And she was miserable. Yeah. So, but when you, like, what was her movie, Lady Bird? Like she's just a fucking good actor. Mm-hmm. And Norm on the show night disappeared. It was a 7 p.m. rather, like start of the taping. The crowd is loaded in at 6 o'clock. Mm-hmm. At 7:30, Norm is nowhere to be found. And they would do a speed read up in the green room, where you do a speed read through the script, and it was basically just for Norm to make sure that Norm was like sober. And so he's gone.
If it wasn't right.
Yeah, and also Max Wright, the dad from Alf, like that dude, crazy alcoholic. he wouldn't show up for a table read because he was in Connecticut in a ditch in his car with 3 bottles of champagne in his lap. Like he was, and then he was not long before I did the taping of the Norm Show. Max Wright was in the National Enquirer and other tabloids for photos of him doing crack with homeless gay guys.
Wow.
So this cast was pretty wild.
Sure.
There was a lot of depression and a lot of addiction and stuff like that. Artie Lang was the kind of level-headed one on this show. And we're sitting there, and I'm like, "Is everything going to be okay? Like, are we doing a show tonight?" And and everyone's like, "Anyone got a 20 on Norm? No one's got a 20 on him." And they got people running all over the Warner Brothers lot trying to find him. And I turned to Artie Lang, and he offers me a cigar. I'm like, "I don't smoke." He goes, "Do your friends smoke cigars?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Take a few cigars." So he gives me some lovely Nat Sherman cigars. And I'm like, "Thank you for that." And I go, "Is this regular?" And he goes, "Every week." And he said, he said he does Xanax by the gram. Not the milligram, by the gram. They finally find Norm. He comes in, he's wasted because he's totally afraid of going on camera, apparently, and he has to do a bottle of Xanax. And Artie Lang, of all people, who is, not known for his what would you call it? Discretion when it comes to alcohol and drugs.
Right.
His moderation, turns to me, and Norm sits down, and Artie, great quote, turns to me and goes, "The man is 1 Xanax away from an Emmy." We do the speed read. Norm gets out there and absolutely nails it. 1 take every time, perfect. But to get his ass out of the trailer and onto the set was a fucking giant ordeal. Sam and he pitched a show one time. Sam told me, I think they went to like either USA or FX. I forget which network. It was either early days USA or FX. And Norm was totally nervous and hates meetings and, is just overwrought with his own brain. And again, he's one of the funniest stand-ups I've ever seen in my life. I fucking love Norm Macdonald. Couple minutes into the meeting, Sam tells me, Norm goes, "Excuse me, I'll be right back. I have to go shit myself." He was worried that he was going to shit his pants. Went out, was gone for like a half hour. Like, apparently he might have already shit himself or something. And then he came back in and the meeting was more or less over. And like the show never got picked up because like, oh, you're crazy. But yeah, I do love Norm Macdonald.
Crazy colon. I don't know. That didn't work.
One other great Sam Simon story, if I may. Sam, as a kid, his dog ran away up in Bel Air or Palisades, or where I forget where he grew up, either Bel Air or Palisades, or probably both. So he's gone around town and he's put up posters of a picture of his dog and he's nailing him to trees. And a few days goes by and he's all sad because his dog is probably run over or dead or whatever, or stolen. And a big Cadillac pulls up in front of Sam's house. And the passenger door opens and his dog leaps out. And the guy driving the car goes, "Is this your dog?" And Sam goes, "Yes." It was Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley found his dog. Oh, rich people. Yeah. Groucho fucked his mom and Elvis found his dog. I mean, that's just too good to be true.
Oh, there's an episode title.
Should I say that? It's a little long, but can we say fucks in an episode title, Kevin, or is that Apple going to get on us for that one?
They don't like
I
that.
think we'd have to censor it.
Yeah.
But I'm still writing it down.
All right. Shit, did I talk? I fucking didn't shut up. I came on late and never shut up the entire time, and now do we even have time for D&D?
Yeah, I mean, these are all a bunch of good stories, though.
Yeah, I miss Sam. He was a complicated dude, and absolutely a super genius. He was like, when he graduated from Stanford, he was a writer on Fat Albert. And then, I think at age 24 years old, he was a showrunner on Taxi. Mm-hmm. And then they took him on to a failing show that wasn't doing well in season 2 called Cheers. He made that funny. And then he gave us It's Gary Shandling's show and Tracy Ullman's show and then Simpsons and all that jazz. Like, yeah.
Damn. That's a career, huh?
Yeah, he was an enfant terrible.
A terrible baby.
He was a terrible baby. You must have been a terrible baby. Oh, God. I'm so sick of my own voice. I'm sorry, everybody. I just talked the whole goddamn time.
That's okay. Let's, I'm over it. I'm over you talking.
Me too. How does anybody ever date me? How do you be a girlfriend of Jeff Davis? He never shuts up and he tells the same 7 stories 11 times a night.
Well, there's a point to which I'm sure it's, entertaining, and then it gets...
Yeah. What is my fear, I wonder, that if I don't keep talking, that the world will stop turning? I think that might actually be my deep-seated fear, is that something terrible will happen if I just ever be quiet.
Well, were you talking when 9/11 happened?
No, I was sleeping.
Exactly. So there you go.
See, don't do this to me, Spencer. I've got enough on my plate right now for you to hang fucking 9/11 on me. Although, speaking of 9/11, and speaking of me speaking, I was sitting at a bar today watching the Euros soccer, international football competition, and my phone, I hadn't touched, my phone was sitting on the table, and it just turned on without any, I hadn't said Siri, I hadn't touched it. It just turned on at 9/11. I think my phone knows that it's 9/11 is such a joke that my phone is now shrouding me.
It knows the joke.
I think so.
I have learned the joke. That's
okay.
Cool.
I'm going to read my episode. Can I read my episode 15 D&D notes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
Okay, recap. San Belay, Hobgoblin fight, we win. I'm down to HP -1 or just 1. I'm dying.
1.
I pull Big Copper up the cliff. Here, this is confusing. Dick Cock Rock ?
Yeah.
Dick Cock Rock.
Or Dick Rock or Cock Rock. There was a
we
big
go
rock
back to Saltmarsh Town. 3 men and a baby. Elf versus thugs. Human and dwarf and baby. Dwarf makes an earth tower. I climb up. Baby.
Baby.
Oh, that's right. There was some creepy ass baby who fucking made a tower out of earth.
I don't think the baby made it. I mean, who knows? We'll have to find
out.
No,
the dwarf did. The dwarf did, and I climbed up, and there was a baby.
I think he might have made a tower of fucking poop in his damn pants.
And Kevin is Sir Jonathan DeFever, which is an awesome WKRP reference.
Yeah. All right. Well, do you want to hit the music then?
Let's do this.
Last time on That Happens, our heroes, after having defeated San Belay and fleeing to a sea cliff, they climbed up the sea cliff, and then they happened on their way back home to get paid for the quest they did. But then they met a freaking elf who was being accosted by freaking 2 other guys, and also a baby. Who knows what was happening there? Intervening, the tax collectors decided to resort to violence, and our heroes did violence. And when I say our heroes, I mean an extra person, because one of the people in the fracas was Sir Jonathan DeFever, and he became one of our heroes for the rest of the series. And so then they fought the taxmen who erected a tax shelter, and they fought, and eventually they killed each other, and the baby, what could I say about the baby? He shit himself. Fuzzy Knuckles was like, am I going to have to kill a baby? But it didn't seem to go that way. But then Jonathan killed the one guy, and Fuzzy Knuckles stabbed the other guy in the tits, and it killed him as well. But now what would happen? What about the baby? Find out this time. I don't know. On That Happens. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of stretching there.
Yeah. Okay, so we got a dead dwarf and a dead human tax collector.
Yeah.
And now go ahead.
You're on top of this earthen tower with the baby, and then the guy, you just immediately stabbed the guy. You could see him bleeding out on the ground, and then like magic, the earthen fortress that you're standing on disappears, leaving you and the baby plummeting towards the earth.
Do I have like feather fall or anything like that? I don't think I do.
I don't think so.
Well, I'm a cat. I mean, I'm a tabaxi. The cats usually land on their feet, don't they?
Sure, but what about babies?
I hold the baby, and I cradle this baby in my arms and do my best to land softly on the ground in feline, agile fashion.
All right, do an acrobatics check to see if you can successfully save the baby.
I'm adding. Hold up. That's 18 all told.
All right. Oh man, you land with the baby, and it's so graceful. You don't even feel your knees don't even feel the impact. So graceful is this fall. You know, the baby could almost fall asleep in your arms during that landing. That's how graceful it was. But instead of falling asleep, the baby's eyes start glowing a holy light, and the baby starts floating up into the air, engulfed by a magical tempest of wonders and light.
What the fuck?
You could hear. You've Jonathan DeFever. You've heard of this. You've heard of this phenomenon. It's known as a baby of fate, to symbolize the change of fortunes in chance meetings that shake the realms. Occasionally, a celestial baby is born to the earth to bear witness to the new events before being taken up by the multiverse.
Wow, so this is a very good sign, guys. This is the best thing that could possibly have happened to us. I'm so excited you're here to witness this. I've only heard of these happening before.
Big Copper's like, fate, baby's pretty good business, baby. And I know babies.
Sorry.
One could say this is a fortuitous meeting. We should all be friends.
Yeah. I walk over to Sir Jonathan DeFever, and I extend a paw, and but I'm aiming for one of those ones where you don't shake hands, but you go for the wrist, like, you know, kind of like a kind of a Braveheart. Yeah.
like
Oh, is that what that's about? Like feeling if they have a dagger?
That's what they say. Who knows?
I don't know. Well, I go
It's
over
a
there.
badass handshake, though. It's what real men do.
I go over there and I give him a badass handshake, and I say, if that's what I think it was, that was a celestial fate, baby, which I've only ever heard tale of. We could use a guy like you on our team.
Thank you guys so much for your help with this. I'm pretty sure I would have died had it not been for you guys just showing up there. I would love to learn more about what you guys are doing and see if I can help out.
Come on now, you handled yourself pretty well in that combat there. I say, let's go back to Saltmarsh.
That sounds like a fantastic idea, guys. Let's drinks are on me. Let's go learn about each other.
Well, I love it. Before that, are there are two dead people. There's a dwarf and a human that are dead that we've killed, right?
That's true.
I go through their pockets or pouches or whatever they've got to see if they have anything of interest or value.
They each have a bow and they each have a short sword. The short swords look like they're made by dwarves. They don't look particularly new. They look like they've seen some heavy use. But they're dwarven weapons, which are, high quality military grade weapons. They're not super. These ones are like mass manufactured ones, as opposed to dwarven craftsmanship is super renowned throughout the world, and these don't have that kind of quality to them.
Okay, but no money on them. As tax collectors, I'm assuming that they've got some dough on them.
Yeah, they don't have any money. Their clothes look like old kind of like really old, worn. They have holes and dirt and dried blood on them, but they're old like war what do you call it? I don't know, like soldier uniforms from the kingdom of Keeland, which is the owner of Saltmarsh in this territory. It's like this is I don't know. Yeah, it's like a colony. This is essentially like a colonized area under the domain of Keeland, but Keeland is not close to where you are.
I'm starting to feel like these tax collectors might not have been legitimate.
What gives you that idea?
Well, it just doesn't add up, really. They should have had some money. They should have had some tax documents. I think we were being robbed, guys.
Around these parts, the only tax collector is Hush Money. He's the guy who gave us the quest.
Oh, you know what we should do? Let's go talk to Hush Money, because I don't think we're getting a straight story out of that dude.
All right, let's do it. So you head to Saltmarsh. The last time you saw Hush Money was in O'Houlihan Pub, and so as a result, you're like, maybe that'll be the place to find him. So you go into O'Houlihan Pub, and again, it's got a giant whale tongue hanging from the ceiling. It's a pretty cozy bar. I've again compared it to what do you call it? The drawing room. Cool Dennis is there. You see some of the people you saw last time you were there, and you also see Hush Money, the frail wisp of a man, hunched over the bar. And upon closer inspection, he seems to be asleep.
I walk over and wake him up and sit down across from him.
Oh, who's there? Oh, it's just you. Oh, you're back. What's the news from the haunted house?
It's not a haunted house. There were smugglers that were pretending it was a haunted house, and they've been smuggling stuff and stealing stuff from Saltmarsh, and they've been selling it and doing business with lizard people. And I find it silly that you didn't know that sending us in there. Like you basically sent us in there to our death. But fortunately for everybody, we're made of stronger stuff.
Yeah, we sent some city guards in there to their literal deaths. They didn't come back. That's why we had to get outside help. I sound like a big copper now.
Anyway. So first of all, you're going to pay us, and
yes,
I know that we
agreed.
I forget what we agreed on.
We agreed on 200 GP, gold pieces that is, and I'll hand you 100 GP, and then the other 100 comes very soon, because this information you've told me is very strange and troubling indeed. If things such as smuggling are happening outside of Saltmarsh, I'll have to summon the Council of Olds. If you give your report there tonight, you'll get the other 100 GP.
Sounds good to me.
Got to get to the bottom of this situation. You understand.
Yes, I do. So, okay, so we have to go to a city council meeting to get the other 100 gold pieces?
Yes, I will summon up the council for an impromptu meeting to hear your report, and then we will decide what needs to be done and pay you your money. But that won't happen until this evening. You got a couple hours. If you want to, hang out until then, go see the sights. I don't suppose you have a place you're staying. You just arrived in Saltmarsh. Is that true?
Yeah. Is this like day 2? Like how long ago did we come into Saltmarsh? Is it yesterday or today?
Let's say this is like day 3. You came in like the day you got the quest. I think it took like a day to get there, and then like another day like hiding out on the sea cliff or something like that. So it's been about 3 days.
Can you recommend a nice inn that we can stay in until later? I mean, we've had a pretty rough go of it, so maybe a nice little nap would be fantastic.
Cool Dennis might be able to furnish you a room. There's no inn in these parts, but sometimes guests give up their homes for monies to quarter adventurers.
Okay, I walk over to Cool Dennis and ask him for a place to stay so we can cool our heels for a couple hours until the council meeting.
All right. Cool Dennis is like, hey man, I think we can get you a spot. We could get you a spot in Old Crunch's hut. And he kind of gestures over to who seems to be Old Crunch, and it's a dragonborn in leather and scale armor. He looks all scarred up, and he's kind of like a dusty green color, but he looks like a half man, half dragon or some shit. And he's like, "That's Old Crunch. Hey, Crunch, get over here." And then Crunch is like, "Whoa, whoa, hey guys."
Hey, Mr. Crunch, you got room for three people to kind of just squat for a bit? We got we've had a long day.
Yeah, I got a guest bedroom, but it's only got one bed. You could have it for free though. You could use it, free of charge.
I'm cool sleeping on the floor. I'll take a little cat nap if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yes. Oh yes. All right. So yeah, do you want to head there now? I was just about to settle up.
Yeah, let's do it. I could use a little. I could use it I could use a little bath, or just maybe something to eat.
Oh yes, yes. Oh yes.
Can you tell me? You'd think I would have met more Dragonborn people in my life. What's up with being Dragonborn?
Dragonborn are the chosen of the dragons. Ages and ages hence, Dragonborn were dragons, but they wanted to become more perfect, and in their what do you call it? Attempts. They decided to make Dragonborn a race that would talk and live with the humans, not so far removed as the dragon race is, as powerful and ancient as are they, but a race that was more like humans and elves and others, that they may learn more about people on the level of the people. And then I showed up.
Can you breathe fire or fly or anything? Like you got those dragon skills?
I can't fly, but oh boy, I'm a green dragon, so that means I can spit poison.
Oh, shit. What do you do in town here, Crunch?
I'm a mercenary. I go where I'm needed.
Well, I like the sound of that. I'm kind of a mercenary myself.
Hell yeah. Mercenary bros.
Well, this is Big Copper. This is Sir Jonathan DeFever.
Hey, baby.
So, hey, Old Crunch, let's go to your place. Are you going to be at the Council of the Old tonight?
No, that's not my style, going to the freaking old smeller place. Old Council Hall.
Okay. Well, I got to say, for D&D fans out there, this has been some riveting shit. We went to town and we booked an Airbnb for the afternoon.
Sometimes that's just how it goes in the old Houlihan's pub.
So, okay, I'm gonna hit pause here. Table talk. The baby was with the tax collectors, the magic celestial baby.
You don't know. Jonathan, in your recollection, you just remember the baby being there. You don't remember, the tax collectors showing up holding a baby, or them walking with the baby, placing the baby down. You don't remember any of that. You just are like, there's these guys. Oh, and a baby was there.
But we do know that it was a very fortuitous sign that a celestial fate baby, after saving his life from falling off of a thing, he floated up into the skies and made a bunch of lights.
Yes, the appearance of the fate baby is an excellent omen.
Well, is there a way that we know we can cash in on that, or that just kind of that just makes it seem like there's good stuff is in our future?
I guess you can cash in on it by, cementing the bonds of fate that were woven at your meeting by becoming great adventuring friends.
All right. Hey, everybody. Are we at Crunch's crib?
Oh, yeah. Here's hors d'oeuvres.
Thank you, Old Crunch. I really, really do appreciate it. And I look over at a Big Copper, who, of course, we already have a strong bond because we've been through a lot of shit already. And I look over at Jonathan DeFever, and I was like, the fate baby don't lie. I think that we have to cement our bond together with a toast. And I say, Big Copper, do you have any toasts, like any bond cementing cheers that you can say to the group?
He goes, here's to here's to two of the finest people I've ever met, and here's hoping they'll become a powerful duo as I run out of here to attend to other business. See ya. And he runs away.
Ah!
What?
Cliffhanger! Big Copper has just fucking boned out?
Yeah, he boned out. He's got other business.
Well, we got old Crunch now. I think we might have traded up. Fucking spitting poison and whatnot. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Happuccinos. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Sorry I was late and being a bad dad.
The bad dad of the podcasting world.
My favorite, well, not my favorite part. My favorite part is, of course, hanging out with Spencer and Kevin. But then Kevin sends me and Spencer a list of potential episode titles. So I'm looking forward to that. There might be some weird ones. Let's raise a glass to Sam Simon, to Rabia Lamort, to Jesus Christ, to Dasmus and Gastus. What are the homeboys' names on the other crosses?
And Gestas or something.
Yeah, something like that.
It wasn't Isthmus, I know that.
And I know they're in heaven.
I hope so. Thank you, Happuccinos and Happenstances and Happalations and all y'all. You can find me on Cameo, on Memo, and on Patreon. Spencer, what you got?
Check me out on Twitch. Follow my TikTok, which, if you hadn't guessed, is at the Sixler. It's my username on literally everything. So
we didn't talk about. Maybe we could talk about next time is the time that Spencer accidentally sent me and Kevin porn on a text communication.
That's all the time we got tonight, folks. Go with God.
Starburns Audio.